in most places right now. We just finished up the International Short Film Package 2, and we have a fantastic filmmaker who's been nominated in our film festival for Best International Short Film. Had a beautiful short film called Sacred Hair, which was Oscar qualified by 2 film festivals. I just found out. So let's welcome Mario Moran. Hey Mario, how are you?
Hi everybody.
It's fantastic to see you. Thank you so much for joining in. Where are you calling
it's my
in
pleasure.
from?
It's really my pleasure.
Where are you calling in from? Because I know you are international filmmaker. So where are you calling in from right now?
Right now I'm in a small town called Val David, actually in the forest, in the middle of the forest by a lake, because we just acquired a nice little cottage by a lake.
Oh,
So
that's awesome.
it was my dream to have a place, an inspiring place to write more films and to create, more stuff, so.
That's
So
amazing.
that's where I am now, but I'm actually at the neighbor because I don't have internet yet. So I had to ask my neighbor.
Oh, wow. Well, please tell your neighbor, thank him for giving us, or them for giving us the opportunity to talk with you. That's amazing. So Mario, beautiful film. You just mentioned it was Oscar qualified by 2 big film festivals. My first big question is, where did this story come from? What inspired you to try to write and tell the story?
Well, first of all, it's my first film. I've never really made any film before. And I wanted to really hit hard with the story that we're unifying, because I think this world needs more stories that unifies, and we feel more separated. Every day we feel more separate, even now more separated than ever.
Right,
So
yeah.
I wanted to tell a story of 2 different characters, from opposite ends of the spectrum of what we think as characters, like sex, religion, social background, everything. So I thought that would be great to use a Muslim person, because at the time the media were making such a big case out of the veil and everything, and the Muslim people. So I thought this will probably be more be powerful if I use the Muslim culture.
Yeah.
So I thought, how can I make an impossible encounter, between two different persons, make them one, make them at the end the same person, so they can relate to one another, and to show that we all love to think that we're very different, but essentially we're all the same. So
Wow.
So this was the challenge I wanted to give myself.
Yeah, no, that's incredible, Mario. For this being your first film, that's unbelievable. I mean, as a filmmaker myself, I wished my first film was even close to being as good as yours, because it's a beautiful story, and it's doing so well in the festival circuit. I mean, you guys have done a whole bunch of film festivals. Tell us about that. How's the journey been so far?
Well, it's been amazing. This is the end of the run.
Okay.
We still have Monaco in 3 weeks in Europe, and a couple more, but this is the end. I think at the end it's going to be around 45 festivals.
Wow. Oh my!
And it's around 28 awards or something like that. Maybe 30. I've lost count there, but
yeah.
So the film was also presented in Japan, because it won a special diversity award in Japan.
Oh wow!
So,
okay.
Yeah, it went everywhere in all the continents, and it did really, really, really well.
That's amazing! Congratulations! That's so exciting. I was looking at on Film Freeway at just the amount of festival that's been traveling to, which is great. So what was it like, your casting process? Because I mean, the little boy in the film was great. What was your casting process like, and any challenges you faced working with children?
The casting was extremely challenging. My first at first, to find a Muslim woman in the 40s, like end of 30s, the beginning of 40s, who knew the Muslim culture really well, and was an actress, because I was going to go for a non-actor for the Muslim woman, but I thought it would be harder, much more work. So I started to ask around, and it was really challenging. There was only 3 in Montreal,
Wow.
Arabic-looking actresses,
Wow.
and I was desperate. And the other 2 looked too young.
Mm.
So suddenly I went to the grocery at the corner of where I live in Montreal, and I asked an actor who's got an agency, and I said, "Well, I'm desperate. I'm looking for an Arabic-looking woman in the 40s that looks like could be a mother, like motherhood look." And he said, "Mario, I got the
You knew.
actress you need." I said, "No, come on, give me a break. It's impossible. I promise I got it exactly what you're gonna love her." And he sent me a picture. It was exactly what I was looking for. And we met. And it was like sort of a miracle. This film is a bunch of miracles.
Right.
There was so many miracles in this film. It's amazing. And I have a list. Like, I can tell you. First of all, to find that lady who helped me rewrite, and it's actually her own veil that we used as a prop, and she helped me rewrite the story so it's not leveled too low and leveled like to dialogue, so it's very natural, and to get rid of all the judgments, and to open up. Like the goal was actually to stay open, and to stay not necessarily take position in what is good and what is bad, but so being just honest with why we wear hijab, and so for the boy it was extremely but I have to say, Munya was amazing, and it was, I thank her again for the great job she's done. She made this film really a joy to make because of her. And the boy, it was actually a challenge also, because I really want, the boy is actually sort of me, when I was young, I was always interested in strangers.
Okay.
Or strangers, quote unquote. The people who look different, and I would say, "Hi, who are you?" Very young in age, I was like that,
Yeah, I know. So did the actors meet prior to filming, or was it like?
Yes, yes. Actually, I'll tell you the process. I sent to many agents the request for the boy, and I had 13 submission. I received 13 submissions. Out of the 13, only 10 showed up.
Oh.
And out of the 10, I kept 3.
Okay.
But for a second audition, but while thinking about, after the process, the first part of the casting process, I thought, you know what? I'm going to add a character. And I rewrote the script to add a friend. Because I think I use that to show how adults talk about others behind their back. So that was another way of making another social like a statement about how we talk about others instead of being interested in them.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So I needed the friend. But they got along so well in the casting process that I made them friends. And the third person, I didn't make the cut. But after that, we did another rehearsal with all actors.
Okay.
Like casting rehearsal. So it was a challenge to find the boy. But the boy he's an amazing actor. He won He won three awards in this film, actually.
Wow, that's amazing. It's because I was about to mention that is just the reason I asked that is the connection between those actors. It was so amazing, and it looked like it was well developed. That's why I was I was like, did they meet prior? Because they looked, I mean, and it was so
Yeah,
natural.
we rehearsed. We rehearsed behind. You have to know that I'm an acting coach. I'm also an actor. So
Oh, okay.
I'm an actor and an acting coach, and I do workshops all the time. I actually right now I coach actors. So
Yeah,
I'm always coaching actors. So for me, directing actors is I always have a really clear direction, and I have a toolbox that I use like for small little things that make it really really easy and believable. Like for instance, sometimes I use the best one of my best direction is be boring.
okay.
Be boring is a way to make them talk the lines and not play the lines.
Okay. Huh.
Get rid of the singing in the lines, because it's not about the lines, it's about behind the lines. So often
Yeah.
I ask them be boring, and so flatten it so it makes it really like everyday situation. Like we
Yeah.
talk like now, it's always pretty much flat, you know.
Yeah. I hope it's not
Yeah,
boring.
one of the directions I use, but I have many little tricks like that. So maybe that's why you thought it was really rehearsed a lot, and you know.
No, yeah, I just think just the connection between those, it was just so natural, and that's, I think that's why I asked, because I mean, it was it was so well acted at all levels, which now I understand why. Just with your talents of being an acting coach, that's a great skill set to have, especially when directing your first short film. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's funny because once I got on the set, because I also work as a technician in the film industry, doing sound and
Oh,
assistant director. So and also PA and runner and all the. I worked a lot as a technician on the sets. So once I got the director's hat, it was funny because it was like the natural, because it was not drastic. It was, for me, directing actors is a passion.
yeah, that's
and
awesome.
and it's funny. Okay, the DP was the DP. The DP asked me, "Okay, Mario, it's time now. Okay, so, okay, it's good. Okay, so I'll direct. I'll tell them what I want." Da, 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 da. And it was like, it was just natural for me
Wow.
because working so long in the industry and ending up being a director, I think it's a good path to have to.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
So you mentioned a lot of this, this film is created off miracles, which, right, I think is great. What was your biggest challenge creating this film?
Oh my God! Did you notice? There's 100 hours, and I would probably sell the punch, but there's 100 hours of VFX in this film
Okay.
of work.
Wow. All right.
It's worth $35,000,
Woo!
but
Okay.
it was a gift
So,
from a big company in Montreal called Mel VFX, and I thank them from the bottom of my heart because they made this film. They actually, I owe them this film because I wouldn't have released it without these guys.
wow.
Because we use a ball cap to make him look like he's doing chemo.
I was gonna ask that question if you shaved his head or
No actors. The first question I asked actors are also, you're willing to shave your head for the actors for the role, and everybody went like, no way, I will never do that, because they don't want to they don't want to be bullied.
right. I did that once to a kid, actually.
So it makes the title of this film makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Even for kids, hair is sacred.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
It's like their identity, their short, long, color. I mean, hair is too important. It's too
Yeah.
important. But to my point of view, somehow it makes anyway. So yeah, so we finished the film. I saw it on screen, and I went. I almost cried. I went. I can't release that film. We saw and we had to wax his little eyebrows, and we could see all the cracks, and it was awful.
Wow.
So I left my film right there in the corner, and I went, what am I going to do? So I called a friend, and he said, well, why don't you call my friend? And actually, I ended up knowing him a little bit, and he said, send me your film. He just got a boy. Actually, he was a newly father.
Wow,
And
wow.
he saw my film, and he loved it. And he said, Mario, I can't promise anything. There's a lot of work, but I'll show my boss.
Wow.
And he showed his boss, and he came back. He said, Mario, I have great news for you. My boss was actually looking for a demo for a big producer for VFX makeup, and he didn't have any.
Wow.
And most of actors, known actors, they don't want to be used as a demo for makeup because it's often baggy eyes or second, like
Right.
they don't want to show before and after,
Right.
because of vanity,
Yeah.
So the kid, he didn't care, so it was perfect. They made a demo out of my film.
That's incredible.
So they show that before and after with the work to actually famous producer in Montreal for big huge film. So he said, "We'll do it in between contracts."
That's amazing. Because when you mentioned like visual effects, in my mind I was like, what visual effects? But that the makeup, that's incredible, and that that is definitely a challenge. That you see that footage and it's like
pixel by pixel, they changed. They had to remat the head. The work they've done. When I saw the result, man, Kyle, I cried. I honestly, I cried.
Oh, I bet.
Because it saved the film,
Oh man, you would have never guessed it. I would have never if you never.
And yeah, that's great because we don't see it. That's even better because we don't even see. We don't even notice it's a.
No, there was a minute when you mentioned there was all these visual effects, and I'm like, did I watch the right film? But now that makes sense. Oh man, that's unbelievable. So Mario, what are you, right? You have a beautiful film. It's just doing fantastic. Your first film, which is unbelievable. It's doing great in the festival circuit. What are you most proud about with this film? Like, what's your proudest?
And I'm sure it's gonna resonate in a lot of people in a lot of people in his mind, like mostly the filmmakers, and it's just the dedication.
Yeah.
The amount of dedication it takes to bring a project like this to the end, it's insane.
Yeah. How long?
I don't know how many times. I don't know how many times I quit and I gave up.
Yeah.
I probably gave up maybe 10 times.
Oh wow.
At the end, like all the transfer, the editing. By the way, the editor Marlene Poulin, who did an amazing job. I thank her again. She was amazing. I want to work with her on my next 10 films. But the dedication it took to finish this film, the amount of the challenge of finding the kid and Munya, and trusting the story also, because I lost sense of what I was doing on the way to finishing it. Is this good? I was too much, and it took a long time to work that film.
Yeah.
I didn't have money. I used my own money to do this.
I was gonna ask you, like, how long did production take from like start to finish? How long were you guys?
2 days of 2 days of shooting, but we edited it for about a year.
Wow. Okay.
On and off, and we left it because Marlene was doing it in between projects, and yes, no, let it sit. We took forever, and I wrote for 8-10 months, maybe a year, and I wrote like 13 versions of it, and I made people read it, and people were crying when I was reading it. So at the end, they were crying and laughing,
Oh.
So I thought, okay, that's it. So that's it. If they laugh and they cry while reading it, I'm ready to shoot.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
big lesson here, the big lesson, if people are watching this, if they want to make a film, they should not make a film just to make a film. We all, like, I notice everybody wants to shoot. Let's shoot a film. Let's shoot a film. It's good. It's not bad. I mean, it's good to exercise it and do it. Unless you really want to make an impact, you need to rewrite and be ready to rewrite and make people read it, and make people that you respect and you respect read it in exchange of a meal or something. But like you make people read it, and then you're ready to rewrite it again. And until you hit the end, and people cry and laugh reading it, you shouldn't do anything with it. Or if you want to do an exercise, you just do it. But just to shoot it for fun. But that's my advice. And what I'm mostly proud of is just to keep to having kept the faith of bringing that story to screen, to actually change people's mind about others, like how you go towards others that don't look like you.
Right.
With them, because actually this is the message I wanted to bring.
Yeah.
So did it answer your question?
100% did, and some. I mean, you're a wealth of knowledge. I mean, I could talk to you for hours because you just have so much great insight on all this. And for that being your first short film, it looks like you've been doing this for years. So Mario, where can because I obviously want to continue to follow you in your filmmaking journey because it's off to a fantastic start. And tell me, where can everybody find you? Or you have a website? Where can we continue to follow your work? Because I think
I have a fan page on Facebook, but and I have a workshop. I founded a training company to train actors, but also people in the corporate world, everything that has to do with communication. So it's Ludik, Ludik.
Okay.
It's the brand. Ludik means playful, but with a twist, with a K. It's
gotcha.
Ludik, Ludik. It's not ludicrous, it's Ludik. Let's not mix it. So it's Ludik teaching with formation. So there's a website called Ludik formation. Well, I had to change my stuff, but and also I have an IMDb page and my own Facebook page. But and I'm working on two other projects right now.
That's fantastic. Well,
one is about human trafficking, and the other one is about actually finding your purpose as a. It's suicidal. It's about a suicidal gamer.
Oh wow! Okay. All right. Yeah, don't tell us too much because I hope you share it with us next year or whenever it comes out. Because I really want to continue to see your work. Again, it was an amazing film. Mario, thank you so much for taking the time out. It was a pleasure meeting you. I wish we could meet in person, but obviously COVID-19 had other plans for us. But it was at least to be able to meet you virtually for now.
Thank you. So there's no questions from the 10,000 people listening right now?
No. So they do the question. It's because it's interesting. There's no questions there because we have like a small chat platform. But the streaming thing, that's the only downfall about doing these streaming things is you don't sort of get that audience questions in them.
Yeah.
But
I know, but great work for the first year doing this festival.
Yeah,
festival.
It's definitely new for us. It's definitely not what we planned. I hope we can all watch movies together again in 2020.
Yes.
Hopefully we can get your film or any future projects. Please present them our way. We would love to show them.
So thank you so much for selecting Sacred Hair and
of course
for the Q&A. So
absolutely. Well, Mario, thank you so much. Have a good night, and please stay in touch.
Okay, Kyle. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Take care.
Take care. Have a great end of festival.
Thank you. Oh man, that was fantastic. What a great insight. I had no idea that wealth of knowledge. First filmmaker, that's incredible. So guys, there's still plenty of film festival left. We have 3 more great days. Tomorrow, we start our workshop. Our Women in Filmmaking panel is at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will be there answering some questions from some of our most powerful female filmmakers here in the festival this year. So I'm looking forward to meeting everybody all virtually for now. And until then, see you guys at the movies.